Hello everyone, welcome to Semi Talk. This is Terry. We'd like to start today's program by saying that the highly anticipated Semi-Taiwan Strategic Material Conference, SMC, will be held on December 17. Strategic materials are very much related to the concept of sustainability and survival, and that's explained why so many people are talking about it today. Especially in Taiwan, Taiwan is the island lacking in natural resource. Many local companies might fighting themselves in a shortage of the water, electricity, or the land in the long run. So therefore, how to use the limited resource sustainable has become the critical issue that matters to all of us. Our speaker today will be talking about the importance of strategic material as well as the future trend and the challenge. It is my greatest honor to be here today to welcome Dr. Jun He, Vice President of the Quality and the Reliability, TSMC. Welcome, Dr. He. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Terry.
Yes.
It's a great honor for TSMC to continue participate SEMI, this great platform.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. He. Yeah, Dr. He, as we all know that strategic material have lots of things to do with sustainability nowadays. In the past, sustainability idea like ESG might not necessarily come to the semiconductor community attention, but now it is a must for all of us. So let me take the real example earlier this year. Actually, Taiwan suffered a lot of one of the worst drought in almost 60 years. And the lack of the water really become the big problem for the Taiwan high-tech industry. So for those companies who are not well prepared in advance, there's nothing they can do too much so in the short term. So just think about how much pressure it will be, like the high-tech company worry about the water supply might be cut and also the disruption to their daily operation. I think TSMC has spearhead in economic, environmental, and the societal elements in the sustainability initiative. It has put the great effort to make sure the water in the production line can be reused. I think everyone heard about the story about a drop of the water can be used 3.5 times as a TSMC. So we are very familiar with about that story. So it just shows how TSMC to minimize the impact of environmental while keep the economic running. So as the absolute leader in advanced manufacturing technology, TSMC believes material will play a key role in maintaining its competitive advantage. I remember once you say that it will be material will bring to the more slow forward. So could you share with us how TSMC continue to push the envelope for the advanced manufacturing process and also achieve sustainability goal at the same time? What does the TSMC future in material sustainability look like?
We continue work with our material partner. As you all know, semiconductor industry is capital and resource intensive. Mm-hmm. So sustainability is one of our focus. And as advanced manufacture evolve, the Moore's law also changes from pure performance and the chip density to power efficient performance and system integration.
Yes.
So as one of the manufacturer leader, and we are honored to work with our fellow traveler and our very innovative material partner to focus on how to evolve our process, address both sustainability as well as semiconductor performance to meet the world need. And we have been working with SEMI very successfully in the past few years to be transparent, work as a partner, how to improve the yield of our material supplier. In the end, the economic and technology challenge can more or less center around the yield to make the material meet the semiconductor process need, but also meet the recycle need.
Yeah.
And then make the yield improvement so we can continue recycle material for our own use.
Yes.
So as a result, we actually establish advanced analytical lab to serve the whole industry.
Yeah.
So we would like to work with our material supplier to improve those yield, to find right technology solution.
Yeah.
The other thing I would like to remind everyone, there's an old saying, God closed a door, but he opens a window. So this ESG focus actually gave the whole industry a lot of window opportunity for us to work together.
Yeah. So I think that's really good analogy, and I like it very much. And for many companies nowadays, ESG and the sustainability become, like you mentioned, integral part for their competitive advantage in the coming years. So this is so true not only for the semiconductor company only, but also for many other technology companies are setting their foot in the field of the strategic material and the circular economy. So among this all the ecosystem, what kind of collaboration do you see between the TSMC and the supply chain in this regard? And what are the challenges in the future we can work together?
The challenge, besides the technology challenge and the environment challenge, there's also scalability. Because the world is hunger for more semiconductor.
That's true.
So we are expanding globally, along with a lot of our fellow traveler and the material partner. So how do you increase production scale, but still keep environment in mind? So that's we see as a major challenge. However, the scalability can use a lot of innovation, and the recycling is one of them to enable this growing scale. As we all know, the raw material cost is going up, and we cannot find enough supply for, say, copper, for precious material, for a lot of other things, like water you mentioned. So recycling is not only become our responsibility to society, but it's also critical enablement for running a business. So I would like to give a few examples how we work with our material partner. One is IPA. We use IPA to clean our wafer. So large amount of IPA being consumed, not just by TSMC, but also by other foundry and other fab operator. Waste management is one of the key challenges. Now we actually work with some of our suppliers and manage to recycle bulk of the IPA and for our own use. And the yield is quite good. It's 80%, which means for every 100 tons of IPA we use, we can purify and recycle 80 of those.
Wow, that's very high percentage.
To our own use.
Yeah.
Then you might ask, what about the other 20 tons?
Wow.
The other 20 tons can find a lot of other usage for personal hygiene.
Yeah.
And in the last 2 years, there's an explosion growth of the need for personal hygiene product.
Yeah.
And in Western world, those are mostly IPA based.
Yeah.
Actually, our partner grow great business for doing that, and actually they ensure supply.
Yeah.
So this is one of the good example I would like to share. So the innovation and together partnership, we will be able to find those window of opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually would like to ask Terry one question. For Taiwan to continue gain firm foothold in strategic material.
Yeah.
All of us need to work together in semiconductor industry.
Yeah.
And SEMI has been instrumental to forge this relationship and have been very successful. So how is your plan to continue this and evolve SEMI as a great platform to focus on sustainability and ESG?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Give me the opportunity to explain what SEMI do. SEMI is a global industry association. Of course, the nature of the association is try to build up the ecosystem. So I will talk about from two different perspectives. One is from SEMI Taiwan perspective. Actually, in Taiwan, we try to build up the strategic material committee, and also we do the SMC conference. And also, of course, SEMICON Taiwan, we have the pavilion specialized in the material area to showcase the latest material for everyone to have a look. But at the same time, we also try to help to advocate the industry to the government about the long-term development support for the material industry. At the same time, we also try to build up the industry standard. So SEMI is trying to build together its members from different industry sector, no matter from the manufacturer or from the packaging, equipment, material. We try to explore the sustainability issue that matters to human society and take advantage sustainability related business opportunity, just like you mentioned earlier. And besides of the material committee, we try to enhance the collaboration for the semiconductor material supply chain that can help the competitiveness of the Taiwan local domestic industry. We also try to create a professional exchange platform and also try to cultivate the outstanding local talent. So those are the initiatives we try to do in Taiwan. On the other hand, in the global level, we try to establish the Global Sustainability Committee this year. The objective is also try to help the business to incorporate the sustainability goal in their daily operation by regular meeting and exchange and providing effective solutions to jointly to take the industry to next level. And we also try to build a consensus for semiconductor community over the year and help establish the SEMI standard to ensure the manufacturing process of the T technology live up to the international trend and to the international standard. So here I want to take one of the SEMI standard, for example. This is the SEMI S23. That is the guide for conservation of the energy, utility, and the material used by the semiconductor manufacturing equipment, which was launched in the 2005. Nowadays, it has been widely used in the design of the period semiconductor equipment or constantly reversed by the energy saving in the factory. So those are the SEMI initiative we try to help and facilitate in the strategic material industry at all. So whether it's the SEMI or TSMC or the entire supply chain, actually to develop the strategic material for the future is the way to go. So actually I have some TSMC number here I want to share with the audience. As I know that in order to improve the wafer yield rate, TSMC actually level up its airborne molecular contaminant control technology by improving the filter structure to strengthen the endurance. So as of June this year, TSMC actually already cut the number of the filter waste and the pollutants by more than 3,000 metric tons. And the TSMC also reduced around 12,000 metric tons of the carbon emission, which is equivalent to the amount of 31 Da'an forest park can be absorbed in 1 year. So that is amazing. But this total gain for the waste reduction exceeds more than NT $1.6 billion. But however, to be able to do that, you can foresee you will take the cost into consideration. But how do you strike the balance between the cost and the durability? And how does the TSMC the manage to meet the sustainability goal and also create the economic benefit simultaneously. Can you share with us about that?
Yes, great question. Yes, there has been always a concern about how do you manage the cost with technology challenge and environment benefit constraint.
Correct.
Actually, we have a few examples and develop a set of methodology to do just that. I would like to share some of those. One example is material supply to semiconductor industry is a bit unique to the rest of fab operation. For example, if you want to improve the wafer supply, you improve yield and you have to build new fab. But in material, we use a lot of material. However, if you look at the water, you look at the metal, you look at the bulk chemical, gas, you name it, we are actually small portion of the whole industry usage. Semiconductor is very small portion. However, our purity requirement, our quality requirement probably is on the top. So really the challenge to manage the cost is how to work with our supplier together to improve the yield, the yield to semiconductor grade material. So they're not short of, for example, copper. There's lots of copper, we use only small portion of it, but how do you purify those? And that's also, that's where the recycling coming in. Once you have great yield, now you need to make sure your waste management also can achieve the same amount of yield, like the IP example I gave earlier. However, there's a lot of other ways to do the same. Instead of recycle to the same application, you might find a different application. Copper sulfate is one of the key solutions semiconductor industry use to plate our interconnect copper. Now there's a lot of technology challenge to purify those to the same level as fresh copper sulfate we can use, just like IPA. Now what we managed to do with a few of our supply is purify, extract copper from that copper solution and use in a different application, still in the plating, but as an anode copper bar rather than a solution. So you achieve the recycle of copper. And the yield is not as high as IPA, the yield is only 20%, and we're still working together to improve that. However, because there's a lot of place for copper, and copper commodity price actually increased a lot in the last few years. So the partner actually get a lot of business. And so if you look at total cost of ownership, not just from material supply, but also from the fab operator, from the waste management cost, you look at the whole cost ownership, actually it's lower. So there's a lot of example to see that we can do technology challenge, we can make environment friendly challenge as well as the cost at the same time. We just need to work together through SEMI as a great platform.
Wow, this is not the easy job you have achieved. So Dr. Ho, I would like to thank you again for sharing with us so much information today. I hope this information could really help the people to understand the importance of the strategic material and the TSMC industry leading practice. At the SEMI Taiwan SMC conference, which will be held on December 17 in Hsinchu, the industry expert will share on the same stage to talk about the future industry innovation and the business opportunity on strategic material. At the same time, this year, at the SEMICON Taiwan, which runs from December 28th to December 13th, will also feature a pavilion on material where visitors you have the chance to explore what will happen in the future. Lastly, I want to wish the Taiwan semiconductor industry every success. Thank you so much for watching this program today. and we'll see you soon next time. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ho, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.